Okay, this is the Act 3 summary. We start out by hearing Martha Corey being accused of witchcraft coming from inside the courtroom. Giles Corey enters the courtroom and starts screaming and yelling that he has evidence that this is all fraud. He accuses Mr. Putnam of accusing people so he can get their land. Judge Danforth is not very happy with Mr. Corey, so he pulls him in the vestry room where they have a conversation about this situation. He wants Giles to submit his evidence to court, and he says, we don't have time for that. You're going to hang my wife and Francis's wife and John's wife, and we need to get to the bottom of this. So Danforth agrees to listen as John and Mary came in also to the room. First up is Francis Nurse. He says that they have a paper that had 91 signatures of people in town who believe that Martha, Rebecca, and Elizabeth are not witches, that they're innocent and good people. Unfortunately, Reverend Parris is a pot stirrer, if you will, and does not want any of this to come out that it's fake. So he convinces Danforth to call all of those 91 people into court and arrest them until they are questioned because they are going against the court and denying witchcraft. Judge Danforth agrees, and now all of those people who signed Francis Nurse's paper are being summoned to go to jail and then come to court. So that really backfired. Next, Giles says that he has a friend who told him that Mr. Putnam told his daughter that she should accuse a person so that way he could have his land when he's in jail. Danforth asks Giles the name of the person who told him this, and Giles refuses to tell him because if he tells him, then that person's going to be in jail. So Giles ends up getting arrested himself. Next is John Proctor and Mary Warren. They make the claim that Abby is lying. They basically tell Danforth the whole thing, that Abby has been lying and the girls have been lying. And Mary admits that she's been lying. They ask Mary Warren to faint on command, like she's been doing in the courtroom, to show that she's been lying, and unfortunately she just can't do it. So finally, John tells everybody, look, I've slept with Abby. I made a mistake. I committed adultery. That is why my wife fired her. That is why this all started. Judge Danforth says, all right, I'll make you a deal. We will bring your wife in here, and nobody is to look at her, speak to her. And if she tells me the same story, that you committed adultery, and that is why Abby got fired, then I will believe you. And John says, my wife will never lie, so that will be no problem. They bring her in. She looks at Judge Danforth. He asks her about John, and because she loves him so much and she's trying to protect him, unfortunately she lies and says that John never had an affair. Which backfires because, frankly, now it looks like John had been lying the whole time. They take Elizabeth away, and they end up believing Abby. They get into this big old fight. Everybody's fighting. And all of a sudden, Abby and her whole group of girls start pretending that they see this bird that's flying around the courtroom. They say it's Mary Warren sending out her spirit on them to kill them and cast them into the devils, worshipping, or something like that. So they keep saying they're cold and that the bird is going to rip their faces off, and nobody can see this bird because it's obviously fake, except all these people are now believing that Mary Warren is sending her spirit out on the girls. Mary Warren freaks out because she notices that there's no way out for her. So she decides to change things up, and she starts blaming John and saying that John Proctor is the devil and he made her lie and say that she didn't actually see the devil or anything to go against the girls because he is the devil. John begs her not to do this and not to flop on him and to lie, but she does anyway. And John Proctor damns the court, and away he's taken in cuffs as he is now charged and jailed and probably going to be hanged. All the while, Abby and her girls are still running the show. Elizabeth is still jailed. Reverend Hale quits the court because he just cannot believe that everybody actually believes this baloney. Reverend Parris is happy because his secret is safe. Judge Danforth thinks he's doing good work because he's gotten rid of John Proctor. Francis Nurse is jailed. Mary Warren is accepted back into the girls. John Proctor is jailed. Mr. Putnam walks away. Giles is jailed, and so is Martha. And that is how we end Act 3, with Reverend Hale quitting and all of that happening. So that is all of Act 3.